What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Will cheats with masked Luna betrays Electra during Drunken Wild Night? The Bold and the Beautiful hint that Will Spencer may cheat with masked Luna Nozawa and betray Electra Forrester during a Drunken Wild Night. Now that Luna is out of her coma and making great strides in her recovery, she's fixated on the same old goals. Luna still wants to bond with John Finnegan and steal Will for herself, so none of that's surprising. However, if Luna is able to at least partially accomplish those objectives, the surprising part may follow. Let's focus on Will, since Luna's mind has mostly been on him since she woke up. Will is in love with Electra, but their relationship has definitely caused him to be frustrated. Although Will doesn't want to pressure Electra, he's hoping to deepen their romance soon and finally take things to the next level. Electra basically hinted that Will might get lucky the night of the upcoming Il Giardino party, so that could be important. It seems like Will's thinking this is going to be their big evening to remember. Naturally, Luna wants to sizzle with Will, and if she plays her cards right, she might get her chance. Unfortunately, that means Electra has some heartache in her future. Electra offered a clue about where her storyline with Will is headed. It came in a story about Electra's parents, who got divorced after her dad cheated on her mom. That's part of why Electra's been so cautious when it comes to relationships and taking big steps like the one she's hoping to ultimately take with Will. It is abundantly clear that Electra would never want to experience the sting of betrayal like her mother did. Will assured Electra that she was it for him and that he wasn't interested in anyone else. However, everything about it seems rather ominous, like B&B's prediction that Electra will be cheated on like her mother. There's no logical reason why Will would want to hook up with lunatic Luna willingly, but this storyline still has to be going somewhere. Luna showing up at the party disguised, wearing a mask, and acting rather naughty. There's a good chance the show's gearing up for another version of a storyline they told back in 2010. That was when masked Brooke Logan got passionate with Hope Logan's boyfriend, Oliver Jones, while thinking he was Ridge Forrester, since they were all part of a masquerade party. Oliver didn't let passion erupt with her mother at the time because he thought he was getting hot and heavy for the first time with Hope. Due to Luna's mask, the show may be preparing for another case of mistaken identity. Will might sneak off to the back alley or something similar to sizzle with Electra, also known as Luna. Will may be at a disadvantage due to the mask and the amount of alcohol he may be expected to consume. Will's confusion might even be exacerbated by Luna injecting his drink. A combination of special mints and alcohol once resulted in Luna's own hookup with Zen Forrester Dominguez, at least until they rewrote it so that Luna knew exactly what she was doing that night. Even though Will won't be aware of it at the time, Luna seems poised to get Will to cheat on Electra now that she knows exactly what she is doing. The Bold and the Beautiful suggest Will may face some horrific news in the aftermath. Will gets wild, Luna's disguise, Carter's confrontation. On Monday, August 18, 2025, The Bold and the Beautiful will reveal some interesting twists. Fans can expect Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, to get drunk and wild at his party. Meanwhile, Luna Nozawa puts on a disguise. Additionally, Carter Walton and Ridge Forrester engage in a heated argument. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Carter Walton's confrontation. Let's begin with Carter, who hasn't been seen much lately. The man finally reappears in Monday's episode. He won't, however, be with Hope Logan. The COO seems to be having another tense interaction with Ridge. In a preview clip, Carter seems to be desperately trying to convince Ridge of something. It involves getting married to Hope. Therefore, I wonder if Ridge remains opposed to that union. Hope Logan meets again while Carter is having a chat with Ridge. Hope reconnects with Liam Spencer. Hope spent time with Liam when he was first diagnosed because he didn't have much time left. That was completely acceptable to Carter, who also stood by her. However, Liam now realizes he was never dying. Hope is not hurrying to Carter to share the good news with him. Hope, on the other hand, appears to be spending even more time with Liam. So, I wonder if Carter will end up with another broken heart. Is Hope simply going to reunite with Liam? Daphne Rose might have been wrong about the Lope embrace, but she could have been right all along about Hope's heart. Will Spencer strikes out on Monday, August 18th. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Deacon Sharp was tasked with throwing a party for Will. The man agreed, but a sneak peek suggests that it will be a wild show. Numerous alcoholic beverage bottles and dancing 20-somethings are present. So, it's clear that Will probably gets drunk at this party. Luna Nozawa's cover-up. Meanwhile, Lee Finnegan is alarmed when Luna goes missing. With horrifying news, she calls Sheila Carter Sharp. The good doctor clarifies that Luna has passed away. After that, a sneak peek video shows Luna in disguise hanging out at Will's party. I'm afraid Luna will put Will in bed with a drunk Will. That will be heartbreaking for Electra Forrester, who is convinced he's the man of her dreams, so stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful has always thrived on stories of betrayal, mistaken identities, and the dangerous allure of forbidden passion, and now it seems the soap may be preparing to revisit one of its most scandalous storytelling devices in a shocking new way, as Will Spencer finds himself at the center of a storm involving Luna Nozawa and Electra Forrester. With rumors swirling that Will could cheat with a masked Luna during a drunken wild night, betraying Electra in the worst way possible. This isn't just about love triangles anymore, but about the repeated generational patterns of heartbreak and deception that the show is so adept at weaving into the lives of its central characters. Since Luna, fresh out of her coma and already diving headfirst back into her old obsessions, remains fixated on two core goals: forging some kind of bond with John Finn Finnegan and stealing Will Spencer for herself, no matter what it takes, and her renewed determination raises terrifying red flags about just how far she's willing to go this time, especially since Luna has already proven in the past that she's more than capable of manipulating situations, drugging drinks, and engineering encounters in her favor, all while pretending to be the innocent victim. Will, on the other hand, finds himself torn because while he genuinely loves Electra and has no conscious desire to betray her, their relationship has left him frustrated at times, particularly in the physical sense, since Electra has been hesitant to fully commit and has made it clear that she wants to take things slowly, largely due to the scars left behind by her parents' shattered marriage after her father cheated on her mother, making betrayal the ultimate trigger for her and something she swore she'd never tolerate in her own relationship, which is why she's been cautious in taking the next step with Will. But fans can sense the ominous foreshadowing at play here, because soaps rarely build up this much history about parental infidelity without setting up the same kind of heartbreak for the next generation, and it doesn't help that Electra, perhaps unwittingly, hinted at a breakthrough moment on the horizon when she told Will that he might get lucky after the Il Giardino party, essentially teasing that their big romantic night could finally arrive. Naturally, Will interpreted this as a green light to anticipate an unforgettable evening with Electra, building his hopes and desires up even further, and yet this is where Luna slithers into the picture, plotting to hijack the night by showing up in disguise, masked and ready to deceive, much like the show once did in its infamous 2010 Masquerade storyline when a masked Brooke Logan ended up in a passionate encounter with Oliver Jones, mistakenly believing she was with Ridge while Oliver thought he was finally making love to Hope Logan. A storyline so outrageous and controversial that it's gone down in B&B history as one of its most talked about scandals, and now the writers appear poised to craft a modern echo of that tale, only with Luna stepping into Brooke's old role and Will filling Oliver's shoes, with Electra cast as the unwitting Hope figure who stands to be devastated by the fallout, though this time there's an added twist in the form of alcohol, because Will's party promises to be wild, full of endless bottles, rowdy dancing, and an atmosphere ripe for blurred judgment, making it all too easy for Will to stumble into a situation he'll regret. Worse still, Luna's history with spiked drinks and mints suggests she could up the ante by deliberately drugging Will or at least manipulating his state of mind to ensure he confuses her for Electra once she puts on her mask. And the tragic irony is that while Will likely have no idea what's happening in the moment, Electra's worst fears will be realized, placing her in the same position as her mother once was, blindsided by betrayal she never saw coming, which could shatter her trust forever and permanently alter the trajectory of her romance with Will. But of course this isn't just about a single night of deception. It's about the aftermath, because if Will does cross that line with Luna, whether intentionally or by mistake, the fallout could spread through multiple families and relationships. From Lee Finnegan's panic when Luna goes missing to Sheila Carter Sharp's involvement once the truth begins to unravel, and even Carter Walton and Ridge Forrester will be pulled into the chaos as their own confrontations about Hope Logan, marriage, and loyalty collide with the younger generation's mistakes, underscoring how betrayal is never confined to one couple on The Bold and the Beautiful but ripples outward, shaking entire clans. What makes this setup especially compelling is that it places Will at a crossroads between becoming the man he wants to be, loyal, strong, and different from the cheaters who hurt women like Electra's mother, and becoming yet another tragic figure caught in Luna's web of destruction, and if he succumbs, whether through drunken haze, drugged confusion, or mistaken identity at the masquerade-style party, he'll have to live with the consequences of not only betraying Electra but also giving Luna exactly what she wants: leverage, obsession, and a new reason to sink her hooks into him, setting the stage for months of emotional fallout, confrontations, and potential reunions as Electra grapples with heartbreak, while battles guilt, and Luna revels in the chaos she's created, proving once again that in the world of B&B, no night of passion is ever just what it seems, and every mask eventually comes off to reveal the brutal truth underneath, making this potential storyline one of the juiciest and most destructive in recent memory, with fans bracing themselves for the August 18th episode that promises drunken debauchery, Luna's sinister disguise, and a betrayal that could change everything forever.